Good morning. Great question. Here's how I would go about it, and I apologize, some of this is ambiguous and you may have to dig further, but I think I have a couple of ideas that might help you focus your search, but I'm happy to continue the conversation as we go. So there are a couple places to go. There's one called like Journal Citations. There's another one's called Science Citation Index, but they're all tied into a database called Web of Science. So I'll start with that one first. Web of Science Core Collection. This is something that people use. There you can see Science Citation Index. Oh, my search got saved. I don't want to ruin that. I don't want to ruin the result. So I was looking, and when you are looking at methodology like qualitative, you can see precedence regardless of the population. So we're going to focus initially on, and I have my notes on another monitor, underserved, racial, minority, underrepresented populations and things like that. But you can expand your search and see if people are doing a lot of qualitative, or you can look at like genetic counseling with minorities, or mix and match as you go, but I'll show you how to negotiate that. So first one, I'm not going to do publication titles. By default, it should be that. So I have genetic counseling in quotes because I want to find those two words stuck together. And my second one was qualitative, which speaks for itself. You could probably do like incidences of qualitative, like interview star or focus group. Star gets focus group or focus groups. And then on the last one, I'm cheating instead of typing it out. It's like, what are the iterations or synonyms or related terms to underserved? So it might be underrepresented or minority. When I look in Web of Science, this is all the disciplines from welding to apiary, just beekeeping. Maybe zookeeping to apiary. At any rate, what we want to do is see who's writing about these things and what journals are they publishing in. So you can see there's another keyword, BIPOC. With all the EDI legislation, I wonder if that rhetoric is going to change. But the main themes are we're working with a specifically defined population and genetic counseling, and then qualitative or some iteration should show up in that. What you do, and you can change the keywords as you go, but in this database, you can go to publication titles, and let me show you a couple of cool tricks. First of all, see all, and then you can get a list of, in order of how many times something's getting published, you can see where it's showing up. So there's a little bit here and there, but overwhelmingly the Journal of Genetic Counseling is a leader in this. So in those journal indexes that I talked about, those are tied in here. Let me show you how to get into that. So say for example, oh cool, genetic counselors, they have like extra ones. Neat. Genetic services. That sound like ambiguous though. That could be a whole bunch of different things. Journal of Genetic Counseling. So let's go back. Let's go back to the search. And we'll get rid of these two. And since we have one journal, this is what I really wanted to show you in particular, because that one journal might have different ways of expressing its subject material. So we go to publication titles, and I've already typed this in, so it preloaded. Journal of Genetic Counseling. And then this is just showing everything that it's been published in that journal. But if you go to this little pull-down menu, you can search within that journal, but you can view the journal impact. There's a couple of things you can do from here. One, let me move my head, is you can see cool things like where it's showing up. Genetics and heredity is a big one, but it's cool that it's showing up in health policy and services. This might be a different angle that you're interested in. Or biomedical social sciences. That might be more interesting to your research. So how do we get into those journals? Let's see if I can remember. Maybe it was click on the learn more. Oh, there we go. I didn't have to hunt around too much. This, now we're in a different, I mean, it's like a sub-database, but Journal Citation Reports, what they've done is they've taken all of the tens of thousands of journals that show up in here and they put them into major subject headings, just like you would an article. So you can click on genetics and heredity, but let's go to health policy and services, which sounds kind of like something that your group or your paper might be interested in. When you click on that, you get a bunch of journals that are related to that. That what you could do is change your searches. Excuse me, I have allergies and I've got a rusty voice. But you could see JAMA Health Forum. You could go in and do a search for, in this journal, and you could do a search for genetic counseling. You can also organize these by how many citations they have, so you can see what the top journal is. Journal impact factor. So JAMA Health Forum is like the top. So you could see if you're strategizing about impact, you can see where you would want to spend your pitch to a journal. But implementation science, that doesn't sound ambiguous at all. So that is how I'd go about it. So when I clicked on journal information, it feels like that's going back to this, but that's where you get that the impact, and you can see those other subjects. Oh, maybe it's giving me this one. At any rate, this is how I would go about it. And as you know, all of these journals have a public-facing thing, Journal of Genetic Counseling, and they have author guidelines. So you can go in and you can see what other people have done, and you can look in the journal and see what other people have done for a pitch. Typically, they'll have policies, and they might have some samples as well, and all sorts of different things related to this. The biggest investment that you have is that when you make a pitch to a journal, you're kind of stuck until they get back to you. I'm in the midst of this right now. I have an article pitch out, and we're just kind of waiting interminably. So for what it's worth, hopefully this helps, but I'm happy to help further. This is just a starting point, but let me know how it goes.